Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's new build day and this is going to be one of the most difficult builds that I've done on the channel. Not for reasons of like little parts and details, more to do with size. Check that out. We're going to be building the Pocher models. This is the Hornby Hobbies collection of the Pocher 1299 Panigale R Final Edition Ducati bike. I mean, look, check that out. That's just the front of the box. The rest of the box is down on the floor over there. It's just ginormous. So what I've done, normally, I'll open a pack up and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not going to be able to do that in this one. So this is why I've just scanned over in these images here what we actually get in the box. Now, this model is a little bit what would happen if a partwork model and an original kit model had a love child together. Because this is a mixture between a partwork and a kit model, and you'll see that as we do the build together. But I'm sure you'll agree this is going to look absolutely brilliant when it's done. Not quite sure how we're going to do the build yet, because it's so big. So I think we're just going to jump straight into it. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to complete. I'm just going to try and get the video to about 20 minutes, and then we'll just continue this series as we go on, because as you see from the instructions shortly, it's a little bit different to all the other builds I've done. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so these are the instructions. As you can see, 1/4 scale. This is going to be amazing. Now, we do have an inventory sheet here which tells us all the screws that we've got in this build. They are all in the box. And as I said, just like a traditional sort of part work, we're just going to be piecing the pieces together, just like the pictures here. So we'll do this stage and this stage and this stage and this stage. See, I'm not sure how far we're going to get through on this. But the difference is where we have metal pieces like a traditional part work, we also have pieces that go onto this, which are on a sprue like this. Now, it does tell you what sprue each one. They're all lettered up. So what we do is, I don't know if I can show you this, but all the sprues have got the traditional letter here. So if I'm looking for piece, say, J50, I'd look at the J sprue and then find detail number 50. So you can see what I mean about this being a mix. Now, the instructions are a little bit more difficult than what we've been following before, because you've got to look at the exploded diagram and then try and figure out how things go. And by the look of it, just doing the engine here is taking up quite a lot of the build. Then the exhaust manifolds go on. Massive pieces of metal for the frame, and then we've got the fiberglass for the actual bodywork. I mean, this is going to look pretty amazing when it's done. We don't actually start working on the wheels or anything till really late in the build. Just keep turning. Look, we've got a metal chain going on the bike there. Wow. Keep going. So I don't know how long this build's going to take, but I said I will break it down into manageable chunks. So when it's finished, oops, let's just turn the last page here. It's going to look just like that. And obviously this has got a stand that this is going on as well. Looks like there's a, what's this? Looks like a case there. I don't think that comes with it, the case. I haven't seen it, that's for sure. But that is the instructions, and that's what we're going to be following in this stage and future stages. Now, it is worth noticing I'm not building this for me, just like I did with the James Bond DB5. I'm building this for someone else. In fact, you already know him. It's Ian Campbell from Partwork Upgrades, and I'll put the link down there. He asked me to build this, and it's been sitting in my workshop, taking up the whole workshop, and now I'm finally managing to jump on that. So this is going to be very interesting. Let's see how we get on with this. So already the biggest challenge in this build is finding the parts. So we want N1, which is these parts just on the detail here. Now, I do want to keep them in the bag, even though the sprues are labelled. And the reason for that is because it's just going to keep everything so tidy. Now, this build's going to be a lot of running over to the box to try and find the sprue. So we want sprue M1. And the first one is part number 2, which is this one here. So, got my sprue cutters. Let's get this cut off. Just like a normal model, I'm just going to tidy the edges up here. 1 and 2. Probably going to need to change my blade actually. But there we go, that's done. Don't need anything else in this now, so I'll put that one away. And finally, I need sprue J, and I need part 43, which is this part just here on the top camera. So I've got to get that cut off as well. Yeah, I thought that was it. We also need size J screws. Now, just getting these bits together here has taken a good 5 minutes, so you can see how this build is going to progress. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take this little part that we just broke from the sprue. It has got a keyhole pattern on it. That's going to go onto this gold part here, just like that. And it's going to be held in from the other side with a size J screw. So I've loaded that up. Let's get this one in first. And it starts the first screw of the build. Perfect. So when that's in, that looks like that. Now the next two pieces are DCE04 and DCE05. Now the two pieces I took out originally were not these ones. They were in the wrong place. So it took quite a lot of matching to match them up. But quite simply, these are just going to go together on here, just like that, to provide a bond on the top, which looks just like that. Now we're going to hold these two bits together with the size A screws here. Now they're just going to go through the holes in the center, just there. So that's the first one. I have put oil on this because we're going to be screwing this into metal. This is going to make our life a lot easier. Here's the second one. Excellent. Now the part that we just made here is going to go over the top of this section here, and then once again size A screws are going to be screwed in to these sections just down the bottom here. So one there, and just one on the other side. Tighten those up with my heavy duty screwdriver here. So now that looks like that. Now I am tempted to put screws in the top, but it's not telling me to do that yet, so I won't. I'm going to put that to one side because I need to get some more parts together now. And the first one we're going to need is the N103 plate. So it's the other plate to this one. Again, that's on this sprue, and it's the top one here. So once again, sprue cutters at the ready. Cut this off. And just like last time, we've got the little detail here, which was on the J sprue. Put that in and attach that from the other side here. Perfect. So now that looks like that. We need the parts DCE 6 and 7, which looks like this. So it's the other side to that one there. And once again, we're just going to piece these together. Oops, other way around. Get them in, and then they should fit nice and flush together. Just like, just like that. And in a similar fashion, we're going to use the A screws just in here to hold them together. So one down there. I think for this build, you definitely do need a thin screwdriver just to start them off, but you do need something of a big chunky handle here to get them nice and tight. As you can see how much turning I can get on that now. And I thought they were tight with the wearer that I was using. So, but there we go. That's completely in place. So similar to what we did last time, holding it this way round, this is going to go on top here. And this time they do want me to put A screws through all 4 holes at the top. Now I don't understand why it hasn't asked me to do that on the last one. So I am tempted to put that in. But we're going to take 4 of these. So I get 4 of these in place. Okay, part DCE02 looks like that. Again, solid metal. This is heavy. This bike is going to be really heavy. We're going to be attaching the 2 parts here to this here. So the one we've just created is going to go onto this unit just there. And then the other one we created like that is this way round, and that's just going to go on there like that. So these are going to be held in with 2 A screws on each side. When that's done, that looks just like that. This is one hefty bit. You can see how big this is. That's almost as big as my hand. Okay, so the next section we need looks just like this. Now this is part DCE03, and I have got a little plastic thing to put in here. That looks like that. and this is on sprue T. I've already taken that out, and what happens is it's just going to go into the side here. So I'm going to put that in, and it does go round a certain way once I get it in, like that, so that I can screw it in from this side here. Now to screw it in, it's going to take a type C screw, so I've already got those out at the moment. You know what, most of the time on this build is finding parts. Finding the parts. So at the moment I think I'm at almost the 1.5 hour mark. Haven't really done a lot while I'm finding oh my god, while I'm finding screws or the parts off the sprue, because obviously there's the full alphabet has been complemented on this build. So I'm looking through like 26 sprues. So that's in there. I'm just going to put the screw through here, and that's going to hold that in. That's a C screw. So as you can see, we have now got that detail on there. Now on this piece here, we've got another detail that we had on a sprue. And this was on sprue U, and this is number 11, that looks like that. This is just going to go into this point just here. So if I push that in, that's what it's going to look like on the outside of the engine. But we're going to turn it round, and I'm going to secure it just in there with a J screw. So that's one of these ones that we worked on at the start. And I'll get that into place. Excellent. So what we're going to do now is going to take these two parts we've been working on, and this is just going to follow the shape of this. So when we put this on, it's going to go on kind of like that. As you see, it fits quite flush in there. Now we're going to hold that in with some B screws. Now by the look of it, these are actually held in with 4 of these B screws. So we're going to hold it in one here. Get that in nice and tight. Excellent. We've got 2 over this side, so 1 in this side here, 1 just underneath it there, and finally just 1 at the back just over here. Now in the very center hole there, I'm going to be putting a size A screw. So I've already got one of those ready here. That will hold the center section in. And then we've got a cap to go over that. Now this was on sprue O, and it's detail number 6. All I'm going to do is push that in there, just like that. Now we've got that whole side of the engine ready to go. That's quite simply just going to be pushed onto this section here, following the same shape that we got. So this is going to go on top like that. That looks perfect. It's going to be held in from this side with size A screws. So 4 of these, I get 1 in here. And I'll just do the other 3. Now if there were on stages on this build, that's basically stage 2 complete. So let's move on to the next one. This is all part of stage 1 actually. So this is stage 1 part 2. We're going to work on stage 1 part 3. And to do that, we're going to need part DC03. Again, all metal, but it's already been coloured for us. Now, there's a sprue called WD, which has all the transparent parts there. As you can see, looks like Mickey Mouse ears. This is going to go over the pegs that we can just see down there. But they do want us to glue this into place. Now, it holds itself in quite tight anyway. So I'm going to use the most microscopic bits of glue just on here to keep that moving from anywhere. Use my tweezers here to line that up. Now it can only go in a certain way because obviously the pin sizes here are slightly different, but as you can see that's in. Got sort of like a viewing window in there now. So we're now ready to attach this whole thing just onto this section here, just like that. Now that's going to be held in with size S screws. Once again, pre-prepared, so I've got them here. Quite a few of these going in, so I'll put this one in first. Just looking at the picture here, it's I think it's 5. So here's the second one. What I'll do is I'll get them all in and show you exactly where they are located. And there you go. they're all into place, looking just like that. I don't know if we're meant to put one here, just so you know. Put one in, I can always take that out afterwards, but it's definitely into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. So we need the B screws again now, because we've got this Ducati cover to go on, looking like that. This is part DCE08. It's just going to go on the top here, like that. So I've got those screws here. Let's get these ones in. That's 1, 2 over here, and then finally the third one just at the top there. Now there's 2 more bits to add to this now, so we need to bring over the frame that we originally worked on right at the start, because we've got one more detail here. This is detail number 1. Use my sprue cutters to get this off. So we've got our first empty sprue. So now this is going to go just on top like that there, and that's going to be held in with size S screws. Quite a lot. We need 8 of them. So I'll get these all screwed in. Make sure we put this round the right way. It won't let you put it in the other way. It's none of the holes will line up if you try, as I've just noticed. So I'll get all these in, and there you go. As you can see, that's all in there. There's one more bit to do in stage 1, and that's to put a decal on. I'll just open this up, and I'm going to be getting out this decal here, which is WD05. So I will just cut that out. Put the decal in there, let that soak just for a second. Excellent. And that decal is just going to go into that section just there. So I think we're almost ready for that. So what I've done, I've slid that just to the side there to help me line this up. Hold that with my fingers. Just making sure I've got plenty of water on there so I can slide this on just like that. Put it where it needs to go. I say that's perfect there. Then I'm going to blot that. Just like that. And that's gone on absolutely perfect there. Very happy. And that's pretty much all there is to do in stage 1. So I think I'll leave stage 2 to another time. I'll tell you what, that was an experience. All we've done so far, let me just show you, is that whole page. Now that's taken me pretty much all morning, and most of it is trying to find the parts. Trying to find through 26 lots of sprues, metal parts, decal sheets, screws, loads. But it's a hefty engine at the moment. We're nowhere near doing this at the moment, but that is what that's looking like at the moment. Really heavy. I don't know how much this weighs at the moment, probably about £1 at the moment, but that is solid metal. So you can imagine what the detail of this is going to be like when we do the rest of the bike. So I think in the next stage, we'll probably try and do stages 2 and 3, where we're adding on to that. It's all to do with the engine to start off with. But I've got no idea if this is still available. I know it's a very limited edition by Pocher, so I can't really give you a link for that. But I'm sure people in the comments, please feel free to throw links in there to where you can get this from. It will come up that it needs reviewing, but don't worry, I'll just accept them all when they come through anyway. So anyway, nice way to start. What day is it today? Wednesday. We've got a Patreon stream tonight, and we're going to be continuing building the nodding donkey that I've got there just underneath the Orca. So if you're not a Patreon, then obviously just follow the link at the end of the video and you can become a Patreon. Anyway, I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.